Well, good morning and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. We are thrilled that you are with us here today. Uh, what's today? Friday? Friday. I made it to Friday. Um, Yesterday was my last day at my third job. Well, it's a little pickup job that I had. Fine, I put it down yesterday. I didn't ask about that. I'll put that down. So I am happy. I actually have today off. When you saw the morning reports from my car, I was on my way to my pickup job. But I'll put that down. Yay. And looking forward to October. It is the 29th of September. One more day of September, we're gonna have October. Now people go, oh, it's fall, it'll be great. The leaves are going to be falling and the temperature is going to be down and we'll get to drink hot tea and hot chocolate and nah, not here, friends. 86 degrees outside right now. The sun is shining and the humidity is up because the clouds are up. So yeah, no. Yeah, it's still summer. It's still summer here. Yay. As you know, that I'm not a fan of the debate systems that they have here, both in the Democrat and GOP in the Republican Party. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's outrageous. It's just foolishness. Um, and there's no real way for these people to quote win a debate because it's not a debate format. It's a soundbite format. And it's a shame because I believe that if this had been a real debate format, Nikki Haley's team would not have made the mistake that I'm going to talk to you about. They would not have made a mistake because they would have been able to concentrate on a single thing. The debate would have been about, let's say, energy independence. Is energy independence important, and why? Present your case. But that's not what this is. This is just a hodgepodge of things tossed out there so candidates can take shots at each other, which is not really a good format to try to find out any information about anybody. My friend Brian says he's really looking at Nikki Haley as a candidate because on paper, being a governor, I'm a fan of governors being president. I think it's a good idea. If somebody were to develop an amendment to the Constitution that says that you have to be a governor first to be president of the United States, I would support that. I would support that because that should be the way to being president, more so than being a senator or in the House of Representatives, being a governor of a state. I think that that's a better idea. But anyway, and Nikki Haley's been a governor. Nikki Haley's also been an ambassador. She was ambassador to the UN. So she's got that foreign policy experience. She's in her 50s, so she's fairly young for this job. So on paper, Nikki Haley looks great. And in person, she looks pretty good too. But in any case, but her team made a huge error and it caused her a big swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. They were having a sort of back and forth between Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, where Nikki Haley basically claims that Ron DeSantis banned fracking and offshore drilling his second day being governor of the state of Florida. She says this: Ron DeSantis is against fracking. He's against drilling. He always talks about what happens what will happen one day. You better watch out, because what happens on day two is when you're in trouble. Day two in Florida, you're banned. You ban fracking and you banned offshore drilling. Sounds like a strong thing to say from for a Republican, because we're Republicans. We're pro American energy and American energy independence. We we should have learned that we need to have our own stuff. We need to make our own stuff, right? This is what we should have learned. But we're constantly being told that that's not the case. We're constantly being gaslighted into we're not supposed to make our own stuff. We're not supposed to have our own stuff, because that will somehow be bad for us to be independent. Golly, anybody who tells you being independent is somehow bad for you. Um, what what do they? I mean, what amount of blood do they want from us? I'll tell you all of it, all of it. But here's how that all went down for real. Prior to Ron DeSantis taking office on November 6th, 2018, in that very same election, there was a measure put on the ballot, Amendment 9, and it was put on the ballot by the Constitutional um, Review Committee that meets every 20 years. They look through the Constitution, and there's 37 people on this panel, and they try to come up with something that may be something that voters should vote on the Constitution. Sometimes they come up with something, sometimes they don't. But they put Amendment 9 on the ballot. The ballot and that amendment banned offshore drilling for natural oil or natural gas underneath the state's territorial waters, which are, by the way, 3 miles into the Atlantic and 10 miles into the Gulf. Now, doesn't mean that you couldn't go 4 miles into the Atlantic or 11 miles into the Gulf and drill, because there are people doing just that. There are people doing just that. Just that. And it's out of fear that it could ruin coastal beaches and harm marine wildlife. And why is that important? Because we are still a tourist state. People still come here to vacation. People still come here to hang out on the beach. And that's not bad, because that's Hawaii. Still, it's California. So there are some states that are vacation states, and we are one. Now, know that it was a ballot initiative that happened to be on the same ballot as the gubernatorial race in November of 2018. Was not a DeSantis initiative. It's a shame that her team could make such a amateurish mistake. Just a rookie mistake here, causing Nikki Haley, unfortunately, to look like a fool, like she's trying to push this lie. And I think she just went with what her team told her, without the detail, without the nuance, without the context. And that's a shame, because I had to explain it to you. Because I'm sure that you ran with it too, right? Well, all right, we're going to do one more story today. Listen, let me know what you think in the comments, please. Please write in the comments. A lot of you have been watching, and I appreciate that. We are starting to get views, and I appreciate that too. Now we need shares, share, and we need comments. Please comment. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down, or whatever. Thumbs up. Yeah, I was looking at my Zoom thing. It had a little thumbs up on it. Cool. But or thumbs down. Let's see. We'll do thumbs down. No, won't do thumbs down. But anyway, whichever. Engage the video in some way other than just watching it. That will be very, very helpful. We have 650 subscribers, and we're looking for 650 more. So help us do that. We appreciate that. We'll be back right after this.
One of the things that I found out that was sort of amazing about your history, you briefly mentioned it right before we started. You were a Marxist at one time in your life. Most people will find this hard to believe, but it is true.
But it's not that unusual. Most of the leading conservative thinkers of our time did not start off as conservative. You had a couple like Bill Buckley and George Will, but I mean Milton Friedman was a liberal and a Keynesian. Hayek was a socialist. Ronald Reagan was so far left, at one point the FBI was following him.
So then what was your wake up to what was wrong with that line of thinking?
Facts.
All right, welcome back. Yesterday, I guess late yesterday, Dianne Feinstein passed away. She was 90. So now Dianne Feinstein, she planned to retire when her term ended end of next year, but she died. She didn't. I mean, if Bob Barker can't make it to 100, I guess Dianne Feinstein can't make it to the end of her term. That seemed fair. Dianne Feinstein, right from the start, was an icon for women in politics, said Nancy Pelosi, reacting to the news. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called her a legend. Her last vote, this is crazy. Her last vote was Thursday. Yesterday. And she died last night. What this means is that California Governor Newsom will appoint a successor. And then there will be an election for her seat. And it's going to be interesting because only interesting, if you're sort of a political nerd, of all the fighting that's going to happen and all the that the governor should appoint somebody who's LGBTQ or somebody who's Black and LGBTQ, possibly somebody who is, I don't know, something and LGBTQ in California. Maybe an illegal immigrant who's LGBTQ. So that clown show ought to be pretty interesting. During a recent interview, Newsom said that if he had the opportunity to present himself, he would not choose someone currently running for her seat, which means everybody who's running for her seat right now just got out of the race. I don't want to get involved in the primary. It would be completely unfair to Democrats who have worked their tails off. The primary is just a matter of months away. I don't want to be the tip of I don't want to tip the balance of that, because once somebody's appointed, then that's the person that's going to be seen, because people are stupid, to be the right one, because Gavin Newsom said so. We here at the Morning Report and Fight Back Media send out our sincerest condolences to the Feinstein family during this time of bereavement. It doesn't matter. Some people are blessed to have relatives around until they're in their 90s, or sometime into their hundreds, and others lose their parents fairly young. For instance, my mother died when she was 52. So our hearts go out, our hearts and prayers go out to the Feinstein family, and during this time, which has got to be tough for them, because we're not animals here at fight back media. We are not. We are people, flesh and blood, hearts. And we know that this is always a hard time. Although we're looking at this politically, true, but we're humans too. But before we go, we're going to play you a clip of this is what's missing. I think this is what's missing in today's politics. This is Dianne Feinstein talking to a group of kids, children, and she is pretty strong with them. After you watch the clip, write down in the comments what you think about the clip. We appreciate that. Again, please, like I said before, please engage with us. Comment, share, give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down, whatever it is. We'd appreciate that. So I'm gonna sign off, and then I'm gonna play the clip, and then you decide what you decide. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.
Ask you to vote yes on the Green New Deal.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We have our own Green New Deal.
Some scientists have said that we have 12 years to turn this around.
Well, it's not going to get turned around in 10 years. What we can do,
Senator, if
is
this
put
doesn't get turned
ourselves-
around in 10 years, you're looking at the faces of the people who are going to be living with these
Guess what?
consequences.
The government is supposed to be for the people and by the people and all
You know
for the
what's
people.
interesting about this group is I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm doing. You come in here and you say it has to be my way or the highway. I don't respond to that. I've gotten elected. I just ran. I was elected by almost 1 million vote plurality. And I know what I'm doing. So, maybe people should listen a little bit.
I hear what you're saying, but we're the people who voted you. You're supposed to listen to us. That's your
How old are
your
you?
job.
How old
I'm
are you?
16. I
Well,
can't
you didn't vote for me.
Well,
I'm 24.
It doesn't
I
matter. We're the ones
Well,
who's going to be
words mean
impacted.
something.
It doesn't matter. We're going to be the ones who's are impacted.
I understand that. I have 7 grandchildren. I understand it very well.
Senator, the cost of
And-
not taking this action is far higher than the cost of what the Green New Deal will be. And there
Here's
is
what-
enormous popularity for this bill around
Okay.
the whole country.
Here's
And we're
what
asking you to
we
be
are
brave and
proposing.
do this for us and for your grandchildren.
Get enough for everybody. I'm trying to do the best I can, which was to write a responsible resolution.
Any plan that
that
doesn't
has-
take bold,
Okay.
transformative action is not going to be what we need.
Well, you know better than I do. So I think one day you should run for the Senate.
Great, I
And
will.
then you do it your way.
But by
But in the meantime,
by that time, there's going
I
to be a
just
big problem.
I
We
just
have a
won a
letter
big
for you.
election.